Over the past years, a lot of attention has been placed on superfoods and perfect diets. But the real question is, are there a few simple foods that consistently make a measurable difference to long-term health? And if so, are most people overlooking them? When researchers look at long-term health outcomes, one pattern appears repeatedly. Health is not driven by single foods, but by the consistent intake of a small group of nutrient-dense staples. Foods like berries, olive oil, beans, nuts, and leafy greens provide a combination of fiber, healthy fats, vitamins, and plant compounds that support cardiovascular, metabolic, and brain health over time. Importantly, these effects are cumulative. They do not depend on short-term changes, but on repeated daily exposure over months and years. So rather than focusing on isolated nutrients or temporary diets, the emphasis is on stable, long-term dietary patterns. One of the most studied categories within this pattern is nuts and seeds. A daily portion of about 28 grams provides unsaturated fats, protein, fiber, and essential micronutrients. For example, walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, while almonds provide vitamin E and magnesium. But what makes them particularly relevant is their effect on long-term outcomes. Large analyses show that regular consumption is associated with a 15 to 25% lower risk of cardiovascular disease. This effect is driven by multiple mechanisms. Unsaturated fats help improve blood lipid profiles. Fiber and plant sterols contribute to lowering LDL cholesterol. And antioxidant compounds such as vitamin E and polyphenols help reduce inflammation within blood vessels. In addition, nuts increase satiety, meaning they help regulate overall calorie intake despite their high energy density. For this reason, studies consistently show that when consumed in appropriate portions, they do not promote weight gain. Another key component of this dietary pattern is leafy green vegetables. Foods like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard provide high levels of vitamins A, C, and K, as well as folate and minerals such as iron and calcium. They also contain fiber and a wide range of plant compounds with antioxidant properties. However, one of their most important features is their nitrate content. In the body, nitrates are converted into nitric oxide, a molecule that plays a central role in vascular function. Nitric oxide helps relax blood vessels, improve circulation, and regulate blood pressure. This mechanism is one of the reasons why leafy greens have measurable cardiovascular effects. Epidemiological data suggests that individuals who consume about 1 cup of leafy greens per day have approximately a 15% lower risk of cardiovascular disease. In addition, regular intake is associated with improved metabolic markers, including better insulin sensitivity and reduced inflammation. Through their fiber content, they also support gut health and contribute to overall metabolic balance. In addition to these foods, whole grains represent another important component of a healthy dietary pattern. Foods such as oats, brown rice, and quinoa provide dietary fiber, B vitamins, magnesium, and various phytonutrients. The fiber in whole grains plays a key role in slowing digestion, which helps stabilize blood sugar levels and improve satiety. At the same time, it contributes to lowering cholesterol and supporting cardiovascular health. Large-scale studies consistently show that higher intake of whole grains is associated with lower risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. For this reason, replacing refined grains with whole grains is considered a simple but effective strategy to improve long-term health outcomes. When these findings are viewed together, a consistent pattern emerges. Berries provide antioxidants and polyphenols that help reduce oxidative stress. Olive oil contributes monounsaturated fats and anti-inflammatory compounds. Beans and lentils supply fiber and plant protein that support blood sugar regulation and gut health. Nuts and seeds add healthy fats and micronutrients. Leafy greens provide vitamins, nitrates, and fiber. Together, these foods form a dietary pattern associated with improved cardiovascular, metabolic, and overall health. However, there are important misconceptions. Processing matters, adding sugar or highly refining foods can significantly reduce their benefits. Portion size is also relevant, particularly for energy-dense foods like nuts. Another common mistake is attempting to replace whole foods with supplements. Whole foods contain complex combinations of nutrients and bioactive compounds that act together in ways isolated nutrients cannot reproduce. So, what's the bottom line? There is no single food that determines health outcomes. But consistent intake of a small group of nutrient-dense foods can meaningfully reduce disease risk over time. Rather than a dramatic shift, this represents a gradual but measurable advantage built through daily choices. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video or found it useful, feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more content.